It's Vicki Sarnoff here, and I've been want to tell you a little bit about me, that I've been using essential oils for over 18 years now. And so for almost all of life's situations, I say I have an oil for that. So it's cleaning, health, or stress. And tonight we're going to talk about stress. So is there anyone who would like to share for a minute? Have you had any stress today? And if so, if you want to say what that was and what you did to relieve that?
Well,
okay, so I'll share my stress. My stress today was doing my job, preparing for this, going to a dermatology visit. All of that activity brought stress into my life. And do you want to know what I did about it?
yeah.
So what I did was I've been using Stress Away all day. In fact, right now, I'll show you later, but I have a little essential oil bracelet that I'm wearing, and I put some drops of it on there so I can keep smelling it during this presentation.
So I had a stressed situation with a client and her credit card, and I needed additional help to resolve that problem, which I was able to get. But I was diffusing peppermint, orange, and eucalyptus, and it was supporting that process for me, getting through it.
So you used peppermint, orange, and what was the third one?
Eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus. Okay. Great.
Interesting.
Okay. So thank you for sharing, Irma.
You're welcome.
So I had some stress today with this itchy event I'm having on my mid-torso area, and so I've been managing it to this point in time with essential oils. I've been using cistus and lavender, chamomile, spikenard. And not all together, but, just intermittently. But so I've been working with the oils a lot the last few days, trying to just keep that situation balanced. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So as you can hear, there are lots of different choices of oils. So we'll talk a little bit about the different oils and such. But I still always like to start with a medical disclaimer. So the information presented here is for informational and personal use only and should not be assumed taken as medical advice. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So we're going to talk about stress. And there's good stress. There she is, really excited. And there's bad stress. It looks like he's going to throw his computer in a minute.
Or my ex-husband.
There he is. Okay. So stress is actually very useful. Good stress is very useful. Without stress, we would not be here to talk about it. If our hunter-gatherer ancestors did not experience some stress when that lion was roaming around their sleeping quarters, or when those red berries looked good but also emitted a strange odor, they would have been eaten or poisoned. Hence, our ancestors experienced stress and used it to their advantage. Even in modern society, stress is useful. If college students didn't experience any stress over tests, they probably wouldn't study or show up for class. If workers didn't experience stress about project deadlines, they might end up getting fired. So stress keeps us accountable for our actions, it motivates us, and at times it even inspires us. But then there's that guy, and he has that bad stress. And unfortunately, there are equally as many reasons why stress is bad. Whereas mild stressors, such as what to get your spouse for his or her birthday, are motivating, major stressors can be debilitating. For instance, caring for a loved one who has a chronic illness is a serious stressor. Different people may feel stress in different ways. Some people experience digestive symptoms. Others may have headaches, sleeplessness, depressed mood, anger, and irritability. People under chronic stress get more frequent and severe viral infections, such as the flu or common cold. Vaccines, such as the flu shot, they're less effective if you're under chronic stress. So why do these oils work so well? Essential oils have aromatic, fragrant molecules that can actually pass right through the blood-brain barrier, having a direct effect on the areas of our brain in charge of controlling feelings of stress and anxiety, and even panic and depression. So I just have a slide up here talking about the emotions in essential oils. So 80% of our physical problems can be directly related to our emotional health. So if we're constantly stressed out, physical problems can develop. And we know that negative emotions can certainly compromise our immune system. So I just wanted to add this one because I really liked it. So stress is desserts spelled backwards. So I don't know what you do if you're feeling stressed. I very often go to reach for something to eat. And, you know, it may not be that cake, but I'll look for something to comfort myself. Does anyone else do that?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Glad I'm not alone. So.
No.
So a study conducted at Ruhr University in Germany, it was published in the Journal of Biological Chemistry, suggested that essential oils affect a number of biological factors, including your heart rate, your stress levels, your blood pressure, breathing, and your immune function. What's interesting is that essential oils can be both calming and stimulating. The same oil can have a different effect depending on what is required of it. So a restless person may find that they feel calm after using a particular oil, while another individual who is feeling low and depressed may get an uplifting and invigorating effect using that same oil. This is why some oils, essential oils, are referred to as adaptogens, because they can literally adapt to the needs of the person using that oil. This is why essential oils work so well for stress, as they have the ability, the unique ability, to adapt to the different types and levels of stress that different individuals battle. Has anyone ever had that experience of using an oil and you have a certain reaction and someone else uses it and a totally different reaction? Have you ever had that, Lily?
Yes, absolutely. I've seen that a lot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's always interesting too, because sometimes it's just the complete opposite, like, of what you might expect, you know.
Right.
So it just speaks to the individuality of the oil and the person that it's working with, you know.
Yeah, I've also seen where it's not necessarily adaptogen, but what the oils will do. I know someone who was taking lavender. I suggested lavender to help them sleep. And
right.
They thought, okay, a couple drops are nice, but maybe a few more drops would be even better. And instead of relaxing them, it energized them. So again, you have to also be aware of how much you're using and seeing how your body reacts to the oils.
Yeah, I had a person once, speaking of sleeping, and she used thieves. She loved thieves, and she would put it on her pillow at night, and she just said that, you know, it was the best, like, sleep remedy she ever found.
It's the first time I've ever heard that.
I know, it was just the most amazing thing. It's like, thieves is a sleep remedy, but yeah, for that person it was. Obviously, it just really, it was exactly what she needed, you know, for that comfort and support and that feeling that she could just put her head down and relax and sleep really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So I recently sent an email out suggesting using Stress Away essential oil as a great way to help with stress in your life. So tonight I'm going to talk about Stress Away and four of the oils that are in Stress Away, so that you can understand what each of those individual oils can do on their own, and then how they synergistically work when they're put into a blend like Stress Away. Excuse me. So Stress Away, the key ingredients, it's lime, copaiba, lavender, and cedarwood essential oils. Now, it also contains a vanilla absolute. So when you first open the bottle, the main thing that I smell is the vanilla. So that's sort of the top note smell that you get. And the vanilla in this oil does not contain any water, which is most other vanillas are diluted down. So this is the absolute extraction. Copaiba is the only essential oil extracted through tapping similar, I think I'm going to skip that part right now. So Stress Away's sweet citrus scent helps you step away from the many tasks that fill your day to momentarily unwind and relax. It can reduce stressors that could negatively impact sleep, elevate an individual's state of mind, reduce stress in anticipation of mental tension. And I suggest using it by applying it onto your wrist or the back of your neck, aromatically, so diffusing it. If you have a diffuser, up to 1 hour, you can do it 3 times a day, spread it out during the day. It would help you, it'll reduce the stress in anticipation of tension and help you relax. Has anyone on the call ever used Stress Away?
Oh,
Yes,
sure.
I diffuse it in my office.
You keep it in your office?
Yeah.
Yep, I diffuse it. I have a diffuser, yep.
Oh, that's great.
That's
And
so great. Yeah.
so how does it feel when you're feeling stressed? Can you tell that it's helping you? What happens?
I think so. I feel as though I'm just relaxing more, and I take deep breaths and I'm like, okay, just relax. And yeah, I think it helps.
That's great. And do people comment when they come into your office?
Yeah, they'll say, oh, it smells nice in here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about the oils that are in Stress Away. So one of the key ones is lavender, and it's probably one of the better known and most commonly used adaptogens today, because lavender is a true adaptogen. There's 100 different uses for it. So it can adapt to any mood. It's a perfect pick-me-up. It's fresh and relaxing and calming. Lavender is excellent in improving mental concentration, reducing stress, calming agitation, and alleviating insomnia. When it comes to anxiety, research suggests that applying essential oils topically may perhaps be one of the most effective ways to experience the full benefits. In the case of lavender essential oil, a study by the Society of Cosmetic Chemists showed that the medicinal properties of lavender entered the bloodstream in as little as 5 minutes of rubbing the oil onto the skin. So how to use it, especially for stress and anxiety. Inhale it, it's a great way. You can have your inhaler going, or your diffuser going, or you can put a couple of drops, like 2 to 3 drops of lavender into the palm of your hands, rub them together, and then I cup them over the nose and take some deep breaths. It's a great way to do it. The scent enters the amygdala in your brain, the amygdala portion, and that's the center of emotions and provides a feeling of instant relaxation. Here's a tip on relieving stress headaches. Take 1 to 2 drops of the lavender oil and put them at the temples to ease the tension of the headache, temples on your head. For full body relaxation, you can rub 1 to 2 drops on your wrists or your feet as well. Feet is a great way to get oils into your body. For migraines, there's a great combination of doing lavender mixed with peppermint. So Irma, if you're willing to tell how you handle your migraines.
Yeah, so I've been a long time sufferer of migraines since 1992 and had been using drugs, and I was getting rebound migraines. And they have lessened as I've matured and as I've gotten away from my stressful environment. But they do flare from time to time. And if I catch it right, if I put peppermint on the back of my neck, the occiput, right where the head meets the neck, and then the peppermint oil by my temples, and then I just wipe the lavender right underneath my nose and lie down for 15 minutes. It's good. I'm good to go.
Yeah, so that really works for Irma.
Nice.
One thing that I often do with with lavender, if I get leg cramps in the middle of the night, now that can create a lot of stress in your life if you wake up with that pain. And I just take the lavender oil, put a couple drops on my fingers, rub it over the cramp, and within 30 seconds it's gone. So I was like,
thank you for that.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Thank you for that tip. I had one last night. I didn't know what to do.
Well, I'm telling you, try it. So I always keep a bottle right on my nightstand. And
I
it does
do.
work.
Yep.
Great. So another thing you can do, you're tired, you've had a stressful day, take a bath. Add a few drops of lavender into a cup of Epsom salts. Add that to your bath, and it's wonderful for relaxing you and also great for your skin. Any questions on lavender?
How much lavender?
Well, I have an experience.
Go ahead, Lily.
I had an experience last night with lavender and my kitty because I had a sick kitty last night, and it was sort of scary because it was late at night, and okay, so I pulled out some oils, and of course lavender was the first thing I used because he was like really anxious, and he knew he wasn't feeling well. He kept vomiting, and so anyway, it was just really, really lovely because I could see visually and also just feel, and watching his body, how he just like really, really relaxed. It was so beautiful. So, I'm lucky my kitty is used to, having scent in the house, and he's open to it. I mean, some kitties really are, others aren't, but my bub is, and so lavender was really such great benefit last night.
It's always good news.
Yeah.
So the next oil is cedar wood. So cedar wood is also great at relieving stress and tension and a calming effect on the mind. So biologically, the aroma of cedar wood promotes the release of serotonin, which is responsible for stabilizing moods. Cedar wood essential oil can also act as a natural sedative, as serotonin is converted to melatonin, which helps control and regulate sleep patterns and brings on a feeling of calmness. So again, you could inhale this directly. You could diffuse it. You could,
sorry.
God bless you. You can rub a couple of drops right above your eyebrows or at the brainstem. It's where your neck again joins the head to relieve tension and again to diffuse it. But one of the things that I do a lot of nights, I use cedarwood before I go to bed. So I put some on the back of my neck and I put some a little bit on the top of my head. And it's a wonderful earthy smell, and I believe helps to relax me.
So Vicki, all these oils are in stress away.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these oils, as I said earlier, you can certainly use them individually, but they're combined to have that synergistic effect of having them all together in the blend.
Yeah, that's just what I was about to ask. Is it better to, kind of experiment with different oils, or is it, or to get, the blended version?
That's a really good question. It depends on how much you want to experiment and learn about the oils. If you just want something quickly that will help with your stress, then you could certainly go right to the stress away. If you want to go deeper and see if other things give you a different kind of reaction, how they impact you, then I would try some individuals.
Well, I just love the description of the cedarwood. It sounds so appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what we were doing, and I remember we were doing something, and you said, let's diffuse cedarwood.
Yeah. Joan, I'm thinking about diffusing a oil for your gallery opening.
Oh, well, I thought you weren't going to be there for the opening.
I'm not, but that doesn't mean that you can't diffuse.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes, I've already had a suggestion from Alejandro of doing some Cuban or jazz music.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That sounds
Yeah.
nice.
Mm.
So we're going to
It's
move on.
also
I'm sorry, go ahead.
the cedar wood. The cedar wood also is known for its cleansing. You know, like environmentally clean the energies to really clear out energies, any kind of disruptive energies.
Mm-hmm.
Cedar wood has also been, used in that way traditionally, like even in biblical times. There's a lot of references in the Bible to cedar wood, being used to cleanse.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Lily.
If I could just interject as well. I have cedar wood in my closets, or sometimes I have those little
Right.
Cedar chips.
Balls or things, cedar balls and things. And in season, I just reinstate that with the cedar wood oil
Oh, nice.
to keep away the moths and the bugs and the that might come in.
Great. Good ideas. So let's move on to copaiba. So it's a warm, slightly woodsy aroma, creating a comforting environment, especially when diffused. So this oil is a product. It comes from Brazil, and it's from the Brazilian copaifera tree, which is native to the Amazon region. The tree grows between 15 to 30 meters, so that's pretty tall. And the oil is steam distilled from the resin, which is extracted through tapping, the same way you would tap for maple syrup or rubber, the way they gather rubber. So it's been used in South America for its special health properties for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
So now this was something in my research that I learned that I want to share with you. But copaiba includes a naturally occurring constituent, which is called beta-caryophyllene, which is a cannabinoid. Now, does everyone know what a cannabinoid is?
No.
So this is one portion, which is called BCP, but cannabinoids is from the cannabis plant. So in the cannabis plant, there's a number of components, and one is the THC, which is the hallucinogenic and where you'll get high, otherwise known as marijuana. And the other component that comes from the plant is CBD, and they usually make a CBD oil out of it, which does not have the effects, but it has very healing effects for your body. So the BCP that's found in copaiba, it's also found in other essential oils, which include rosemary, hops, cloves, and of course it's found in cannabis. And not just any cannabinoid, but one that acts specifically on the body's CB2 cannabinoid pathways. So these pathways and the receptors have been the subject of considerable attention, primarily because of their promising therapeutic potential for treating various pathologies while avoiding the adverse psychotropic effects that you would get with the THC component of it. So it's just fascinating to me that they're learning so much more about all these oils. Copaiba is, as it shows on the slide, is a magnifier. So if I were to take copaiba and add it to another oil, it helps to magnify that other oil and bring out and enhance its properties. So the copaiba in here not only has the effects of being a cannabinoid, but also is enhancing all of the other oils to have them work even better for you.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we use them? We dilute with a carrier oil and massage it on fatigued areas after exercise for a relaxing cool down. You can diffuse it again. It could be, an hour at a time, maybe 3 times a day. And topically, you can apply it to whatever area you desire. Now, copaiba is a very gentle, mild oil. It doesn't even smell like it has a great scent, but it's one of the best anti-inflammatories that of any of the oils.
So if you wanted to use an oil for healing, for example, let's say lavender on a wound, you could use a little copaiba and that would drive it in more.
That would, yes, it would enhance that lavender.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to talk about lime. So it's a really nice combination having the lime in there. So lime, it works well, it refreshes, it can uplift your mood, it's invigorating without being too overly powerful. It can work wonders for those suffering from the stress of fatigue, grief, and a heavy heart, and helps to stimulate a person to embrace positivity in life. So how would we use it? Again, we can diffuse it. It's a great way to clear out the air and have the room smell better, and to refresh your mood if you're feeling down. You can inhale it directly, and it's a great thing to use in cooking. Now, I'm not going to talk about cooking tonight, but one of these evenings I'll do just a session on cooking and how I use essential oils in cooking. So you could also do it in a massage if you wanted to. You could mix some lime and lavender together with a carrier oil, and it'd be a really nice massage oil.
Or add it to a mojito.
Or absolutely.
Yeah. I was just going to say it's really delicious in smoothies.
In smoothies too, yeah.
Oh, really, really delicious, yeah. Or even just ice and lime, like during the summer months, it's just wonderful.
Yeah, like some
invigorating and
right.
Yeah.
Some bubbly water with lime. That'd be great.
Yes. So lastly, any natural therapy that can help calm the mind and nerves can help to relieve stress and anxiety. There is no fixed recipe when it comes to essential oils, and what might work for you might not work for someone else. Since we are all biochemically exclusive, it's best to experiment with a variety of essential oils, pay attention to your body, and find the personal blends that work most optimally for you. So tonight we talked about a few things: the difference between good and bad stress, why essential oils work to alleviate stress, essential oils as an adaptogen, and the oil stress away, and all of the oils that make up that good oil: lavender, cedarwood, copaiba, and lime. So in closing, I would like to ask you to think about what causes you stress, and to consider using essential oils to help avoid the effects of what bad stress can do to you and your health. So are there any questions right now?
It's a great presentation, Vicki. Thank you.
Let me just,
Yeah.
so there's my last slide: beat stress with essential oils.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Vicki.
So I'm going to stop the share so we can come back on the screen. Okay. Start my video. Catherine's here.
Oh, hi, Catherine.
Yeah, I've been here.
I didn't know you were on the call.
Oh, cool. Yay.
I got in about
Somebody's.
10 minutes late, but yeah, I've been here.
Oh,
I've even typed in.
nice to see you. I didn't see you because my screen was covered because I was having the presentation show. So first, let me ask, does anyone have a takeaway from this call?
No, I just have an add into the call.
Sure, go ahead.
I keep that stress away in my pocketbook religiously, like my credit card. It's like credit card stress away. They go together.
Yeah, really?
So when
I
you
won't-
pull the credit
I won't-
card, you pull out the
I
stress.
won't home without it. No. It doesn't have anything to do with that. I just
Okay.
won't leave it. Like my credit card, I wouldn't leave home. I won't leave home without my stress away.
Okay.
That's so great.
Well,
Goes with me wherever I go.
I was particularly intrigued by the cedarwood conversation, Vicki, that you added, and I agree with Joan. It feels like I want to have a smell of that right now. And that's not what Joan was saying, but just the way you were describing it. So that was new information for me.
Right. And Joan, it may be interesting to try that and see how you feel when how it impacts your sleep if you use it before going to bed.
Yeah, no, I definitely sounds interesting to me.
Good. Okay.
I wanted to ask a separate little thing, but so Joan has a sore throat, and what about gargling with thieves oil?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I usually
absolutely.
I use the Thieves mouthwash, which is what
Right.
I think, helps. But if I don't have that, a little bit of a couple drops of Thieves and some water, I gargle it. Absolutely.
Mhm.
How often would you do that?
I would do it a number of times a day.
Hmm.
Every couple hours if I were home and able to do it. But if not, certainly, in the morning and again at night.
Joan, what do you
I've
think?
sometimes, if I've had felt a sore throat coming on, I would get up, like if I woke up in the middle of the night, I'd go and I'd gargle again.
Mm-hmm.
Did it stop this,
Mhm.
the cold from progressing, or it just
Well, if
stopped?
you catch it early enough, it will certainly stop the sore throat. So at the first sign of it, I would gargle. And I've told the story before, but Len, my late husband, didn't like smells and didn't like the oils, and he thought I was a white witch. And when I finally, at one point, he was getting a sore throat, I said, please just try this. And he tried it and he didn't get a sore throat, and he became a convert, that and the leg cramp thing. But he converted and, would tell people how wonderful the oils were. So I truly believe in it. But you can't, once your cold is set in place and you have the sore throat, it may lessen it, but it won't, won't stop it from coming. But if you can catch it early.
Inner defense would help with that.
Inner defense is great. So inner defense comes in in capsules, and it's a combination of what's in Thieves, so the oils that are in Thieves, plus the addition of oregano oil and lemongrass. So if I'm in crowded rooms or with a lot of people, or if, with my grandchildren, I always try to remember to take it before I'm with them and keep taking it once I get home to make sure I don't get sick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Quick question, Vicki.
Sure.
Regarding the lavender, you used a term and I forgot what you
The
said it was,
adaptogen?
but where it can either calm or it can, yes, thank you.
It's an adaptogen, right.
How does it know what to do? How does it know what to do?
It's intrinsic in what it is. It knows what your body needs, and it adapts to the need of the body.
Wow.
I mean, lavender is
That's magical.
one adaptogen. There's lots of other adaptogens in the world. There's herbs that are adaptogens that can adjust to what your body needs at that time.
Okay.
Also, if I could just say, it also has to do with like what it's made, all the chemicals
in it.
the natural chemicals that make up lavender. It's got tons of, they're called chemical components. So it's like, so it addresses like a really wide, broad spectrum of situations, because
it will,
it's so complex. Yeah.
Your body's chemistry will interact, and then the body knows how.
Right, the body knows which one of those chemical constituents it needs, and that's how it draws that and is impacted by that.
How special. Wow. That's amazing.
Pretty magical. Yeah, it is.
Any other questions?
Well, I don't have a question, but I'd just like to make a comment about the last paragraph, which, that you talked about how it's best to use a variety of essential oils and to pay attention to your body and find out, find your own personal blends that work for you. And I think, that's like one of the wonderful gifts of the oils is just that sentence that, which is so great because it really focuses in on, creating body awareness, like what's going on in my body, what do I need now, and that kind of focus, that self-care, that nurturing, that intuition, that trusting of self to know what self needs, and and then to have these beautiful oils to work with. And so just thank you for saying that, because to me that's one of the most wonderful gifts of the oils, in addition to, of course, what they do is, this self-care piece. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, Lily.
Absolutely.
So I believe everyone on here uses oils. So, but if you have other questions or Joan, I will send you the information about the laundry detergent and the dishwashing detergent. But if anyone wants to reach out to me, I'm happy to answer any questions. If they need to learn about purchasing any oils, just reach out to me. We're going to have our next call in 2 weeks on April 26th. Same time, same place. So I hope you'll be able to
Great.
join me then.
Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you, Vicki.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joan. I hope you feel
Wonderful.
Look
better.
forward to it.
Thank you.
I hope
Thank
everyone
you.
has a restful,
Yeah.
stress-free evening.
Joan.
Thank you, Vicki.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye,
Thanks,
Thank
Vicki.
you.
That was
Bye.
great.
Good night.
Really great. Thank you,
Good
everyone.
night,
Good
y'all.
night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.